This is going to be a landmark road trip this time. I'm going to be driving the trailer and the truck together, hooked up for the very first time. We made a mistake last night that could have cost us our life. Things just got serious and we really had to focus. So obviously I was driving the truck for the first time with the trailer on it, and I was driving like 45 miles an hour, and it was at nighttime now. We had turned down a paved road, and then all of a sudden the pavement ended and it turned to gravel. The whole like truck and the trailer like dropped off like 2 or 3 inches like down to this gravel road. We were in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of an Indian reservation. I immediately knew that we could be in some serious trouble because we were just out in the middle of nowhere. I'm pretty pissed, to be honest.
This is when things got kind of sketchy. He came out and knocked on my window.
He like looked at us like dead in the eyes, and he's like, "You really can't stay here. They're gonna come and try to break in or beat up your stuff and break your truck and trailer tonight." He's like, you really can't stay here. Like, it's not safe for you to be here." We're like, oh my God, is he gonna kill us out here? Like, there's nothing out here.
Real thoughts all going through our head.
Yeah, I called my sister because I had to let her know. I was like, I had to tell somebody what's going on now. So I was sending like pinpoint locations to my sister, and something really bad could happen, and I just want you to know like where we were and what we were doing last. We are Natalie, TJ, and the bold and brave Camo Dog. 3 adventurers from Colorado who are on a mission to unearth this country's beauty as we travel in our towable home. We spent the last year navigating and exploring the Atlantic and Caribbean oceans, but now we are shifting gears to life on the road. Welcome to Adventures of a Lifetime. It's time to hit the road. How are you feeling about this?
It feels weird being over here.
Yeah?
I'm horrified.
Now you can see how I felt at first.
We're gonna go. Yeah, I understand. I mean, I would be scared if I were you too, but now it's my turn to be scared. You're gonna do great. Just drive really slow and yeah, drive slow.
We'll see how this goes, but I'm feeling very powerful over here, TJ.
Good.
Ooh, that sugar sweet. You got what I need. Sipping on the potion. All that good emotion. Just my kind of heat. Keep it up.
I'm doing it.
Testify the motion. Loving this devotion. Live it up, live it up, live it up, sweet emotion.
I got 100 on my driving test back in the day.
Every night you and I on a roll. Switch it up, switch it up, switch it up where I'm going.
Keep your eyes on. So how's it all feeling?
It doesn't even feel like we have a trailer back there. That's the nice thing of having a truck that can tow so much weight that it really doesn't feel, I mean, I can feel a little bit of resistance, but not a lot. So we got off the gravel road. We're on paved roads now. We're in an area that has a 45-mile-an-hour speed limit, going 43. And so far, it feels good. I just think the hardest part is going to be like turning and remembering I have like an entire second truck behind me so that I don't hit things.
And you just realized we have to go get gas.
Yeah, we didn't plan that one out well. Why does it say dead end?
We are pulling up to.
Oh no, oh no, oh no. Okay, I see a road still.
You're off-roading now.
Oh goodness. It's like I cannot turn around here. I'm supposed to be on the highway. Where are we? Yay! It's just really trying to test me right off the bat, isn't it? Is this gonna go to another road? Google Maps has been very weird in Santa Fe. I will say that.
Oh, and there's a cop.
There's a cop.
Uh-oh, you get pulled over on your first go?
Stop it, don't say that. Okay. Oh my God, he smiled. He was probably like, oh my gosh, what are you doing at that thing back here?
Yeah, where are we?
I don't know.
Hang on,
well,
Camo.
There's a bunch of cars. It looks like this is actually a through road. I don't know why it said dead end. That's a mortifying sign to come up to in a trailer is a dead end. This thing does not have a very good U-turn radius.
We have made it back onto a gravel road.
It's not a gravel road.
We have made it back onto a paved road. She did great.
I can't see out of my mirror.
The sun is blinding us. Okay, next stop, we gotta find some gas. And then we're off
That's
to
your job as the co-pilot.
Arizona!
You are the co-pilot, right?
I am the co-pilot.
That means it's your job to find the gas station.
right, you're getting on your first highway.
Ooh, we got a broken down RV up here. That is no fun. Bad day right there. Oh my god. This is a very large vehicle. Thank God that truck moved over.
That is the second cop we've seen.
They're out to get me right now. They know I'm on the road for the first time. They're like, can this girl do it? Thank God I didn't do anything stupid. I would have got pulled over so fast.
We don't have the right registration on
We
our...
don't even have our license plate on here.
Yeah, we're double whammying right now.
We have it all, we just don't have it on.
We do have it all.
I don't know, why do we keep not putting it on?
I don't know.
We really need to do that. They're probably like, there's an unidentified trailer going down the highway at a very slow speed.
Oh yeah?
Probably. Going 62, we are flying. Does it feel like I'm going fast?
Update, she is doing wonderful. No instances, but we do have cops monitoring our every move. We've got about a 2.5 hour drive today, and then she'll be pulling us into our first site. Well, you're doing great.
Thanks. We're being blinded. Didn't think about the fact that we were going to be driving west into the sunset this entire time.
Yeah, we're trying to run away from winter, and we're driving west, but not really south. We'll see how this goes.
We're actually driving to a colder area. How fast do you go?
Camo dog, how you doing? Country road, take me home to the place I belong. Sing it, honey.
Absolutely not.
Come on.
No one wants to hear that, I can promise you.
We're in the country.
We're in the desert.
We're in the desert.
But I do know that we have very few hours of daylight right now.
Oh, 1 mile.
What if I take out a gas pump?
In a 1/4 mile, turn right onto New Mexico 22 North.
What side is it on?
It's on your left, so you're gonna have to take the middle one. Start turning. Check your mirrors, make sure you got clearance, because you can always go right.
Oh, that was a lucky maneuver. Whew. Okay,
time for
course
the
it's
most
inverted.
insane part of the trip, filling up with gas.
Wild. Okay, where's my wallet?
Drive into the sun now.
Yeah. It's still light out. The roads have been great. The turns have been easy. It just feels very natural so far. I like driving though. I enjoy. I like off-roading and driving and things like that. So I'm comfortable behind the steering wheel. So I'm glad it's going as I thought it would.
We've only got 2 more hours.
Nice.
Well, we are driving. It looks like it's 9 p.m., but it is actually only 6:17.
It's going good. I'm gonna focus.
Back to the road.
Okay. Whoops. So, we made a mistake last night that could have cost us our life. We stopped recording because things just got serious and we really had to focus on the task at hand. So obviously I was driving the truck for the first time with the trailer on it, which meant that
I was directing.
TJ was doing the navigating. We were supposed to have like a super easy 3.5 hour drive along Route 40 from Santa Fe over to like a casino or a campground or like a little like pull off area that I had found on the side of the road.
Just straight west on the highway.
Very straightforward. Somehow
I have relied way too much on technology and
didn't check the maps.
I didn't check the maps.
So just like put in a, I know camo. So I guess you just like put in a point and maybe get another point in there at some point, or we don't really know exactly what happened. But the moral of the story is that we ended up driving 4.5 hours north. Like we were almost in Durango, Colorado.
I was just following the map and I really wasn't thinking anything twice about it.
Yeah, so I was driving, we were going on some like turns and I knew we weren't supposed to be turning. I was like, are you sure we're going the right way? Are you sure we're going the right way? And he's like, yeah, this is the right way. It says it's a turn here. And I was getting more and more weary because I didn't recognize any of the names of the cities that I knew we were supposed to be driving through. But I was giving TJ the reins on that one, but I was like, are you sure? Are you sure? And then I was driving like 45 miles an hour, and it was at nighttime now. And we had turned down a paved road, and then all of a sudden the pavement ended and it turned to gravel, and like
Just
the
like
whole
a drop off.
like the whole like truck and the trailer like dropped off like 2 or 3 inches like down to this gravel road. And I like slammed the brakes on, and I was like, we are not in the right place right now. I pulled out the map and found out that we were in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of an Indian reservation with less than a half a tank of fuel. We might have actually only had a fourth at this point.
Yeah, we had a
I
fourth.
think we had a fourth. So...
And it was 8:30?
Yeah. I immediately knew that we could be in some serious trouble because we were just out in the middle of nowhere. Things aren't open late because you aren't on a major road or people are driving through and passing by. We're out in the middle of nowhere. So we find the closest gas station. We start driving there. They said they're supposed to be open. We get there. They're closed.
So now we've got 50 miles till empty.
Yeah. And we're driving really slow, trying to conserve all the fuel we can because we don't want to be just camping on the side of the road out in the middle of nowhere overnight. It didn't feel like a good idea to us. We didn't want to run out of gas. So we're going really slow, trying to make it to the next gas station. We find one that's only like 10 miles away.
Yeah.
We get there and they're closed as well. So now we're down to like 45 miles of fuel left in the truck. And as you know, when you're pulling the trailer, like
It's always less.
it goes fast, especially if you're going uphill or anything like that. Your fuel consumption is much, much higher. So we're at this gas station. I'm pretty pissed, to be honest. Like
As you should be.
I do all the navigating all the time, and I never steer us wrong. And I like even knew where we were supposed to be and kind of had like outlined it. And it was supposed to be like an easy. We were supposed to be at this point. We should have already been parked and done and like at our spot for the night like an hour and a half earlier, and we were still driving.
Yeah.
So I was definitely fired up. I was not my happiest self. And TJ's trying to problem solve.
Just trying to calm you down. I knew I made a horrible mistake. I didn't understand how bad the mistake I made actually was until I realized that the gas stations were closed. So we're at the second pump, and I walked inside to the gas station attendant, and there was another gentleman in there, and I was like...
It actually ended up not being a gas station.
Yeah, it was called a gas station, but it was just kind of like a convenience store,
Yeah.
almost. And I walked in there, and I was like, hey guys, so where is the next closest place to get gas? And immediately the gentleman, not the cashier kind of just looked at me and then looked back down. The gentleman said, you're not going to make it to the next gas station. You're kind of out of luck. They're all closed at this point. And so I was like, crap. So I went back out to the car and I sat down and told Natalie what was going on. And we started looking at Google Maps for the next gas station. And the next one was 40 miles south of us, and we had 40 miles till empty.
And it was supposed to close at 10 o'clock, and at this point it was like 9:25, and we wouldn't have made it.
It would have been right on the dot.
And, people are going to probably close early.
And so, as I'm sitting there in the truck, the gentleman from the store comes out and knocks on our window, and this is when things got kind of sketchy. He came out and knocked on my window, and we were telling him, kind of what we were thinking. And
He asked how much fuel we had left. We told him. He's like, the gas station you're trying to go to, like, they're going to close in a half hour, and they probably are going to close earlier. They're not going to make it there. And I was like, well, like, there's a few truckers, like, pulled over, like, one or two. And I was like, well, can we just, like, park here and sleep here for the night?
like on the side of the road next to the...
Yeah, by the convenience store.
Because there was that gas station, like, 10 miles north of us.
Yeah. And that is when things got pretty serious, and he, like, looked at us, like, dead in the eyes, and he's like, honestly, like, you really can't sleep here. Like, this is not a good part of town over here. The people here don't like your kind, which, fair enough. There's a lot of history. Understandable. We also were in a new truck and trailer, and he was like, you really can't stay here. They're going to come and try to break in or beat up your stuff and break your truck and trailer tonight if you sleep here.
And then he's like, and even possibly worse things.
Yeah, so he's like, you really can't stay here. Like, it's not safe for you to be here.
I just got goosebumps again. Like, when he told me that, my heart kind of stopped and, like, skipped a beat.
Yeah, because at this point, you're like, you're like, okay, whatever. Like, we're used to sleeping at random truck stops or off the road. Like, it's just kind of like the normal thing to do when you're on the road. You're like, oh, we'll just sleep here for the night. And that was kind of the first time someone's told us, like, your life could definitely be in jeopardy if you choose to stay here. And it was like the one time we didn't really have a choice of where else to stay.
Yeah, right, because we didn't have gas and everything was closed. So it's like,
what are you going to do?
what do we do?
So this guy seemed like a nice human. Like, you know, you're trying to gauge someone in a matter of a few minutes, obviously, or a few seconds even.
He had his whole family.
Yeah, he had his family with him, and he seemed like a genuine person, and he's like, you know what, like, I really don't want you to stay here. It's really not safe. I would feel horrible if something happened to you. It's just really dangerous. I have a property a few miles away.
And it was kind of like, not if something happens to you, it's like something will happen to you.
Yeah, it wasn't really.
He was like dead serious. He's like, something will happen to you if you stay here.
Yeah, so he's like, I have a property like 3 miles away. I have some cows. I have some land. You can come park here for the night. And you're just trying to, like, in a matter of a few seconds, figure out, like,
what you're going to do.
Does this seem legitimate? Is this good? Whatever else. And we decided, and by we, I mean kind of me, I kind of pressured TJ into going. I was like, I think this guy seems like a nice human. And, like, I understand that reservations can be really not safe areas. There's a lot of people who aren't well off. There's a lot of poverty and crime. And unfortunately, like, if you have things, you become a target. So we start following Tim to his house, hoping this whole time, like, everything's okay. We turn off the main road onto some dirt road that is just driving back. We're driving for like a mile or so onto this back road. There's like no other houses back there. We're like, oh my God, is he gonna kill us out here? Like, there's nothing out here.
Real thoughts all going through our head, like, legitimately. And like, we were on the phone with your sister.
Yeah, I called my sister. So I had to let her know. I was like, I had to tell somebody what's going on now.
We were screaming at each other because I got us into this situation. I didn't feel right. I wanted to go to the gas station and, you know, rely on technology again to save my ass if something happened. If we run out of gas, I was just gonna call someone, you know, like, yeah. I didn't feel comfortable going out into the middle of nowhere and hearing, like, of all of these sketchy things that could happen to us. And
yeah, so we're also driving and we realized, like, we can't turn the trailer around right now.
It was
like,
one way.
It was a 1-lane back road. So then he goes, I forget his name right now, it was just a whirlwind. Yeah, but we go and we take like a right-hand turn, and this is when TJ and I are like really starting to like fight about what we're gonna do, because he's like, I don't feel safe here, and I'm like screaming at him like, you got us into this, like, we just have to go, I'm not gonna get killed tonight. And so we beep the horn to let the guy know to kind of stop, and I go out there to like get a second feel for the situation, just kind of get a vibe again. And he comes out with like his son. And
his son was 9. He had a young son. Yeah,
younger son. And I was just kind of asking him, like, hey, is there a place for us to, like, turn our trailer around? And he's like, oh, don't worry, you're safe. Like, it's safe out here. I know. I mean, like, and I was like, no, I mean, like, physically, like, are we going to get stuck? Like, we have a big truck and trailer. I just want to make sure we have, like, a spot to turn around in. He's like, yeah, you'll be totally fine. Like, you don't need to turn around. And he kept being like, you'll be safe out here. You'll be good. You'll be safe. And he's like, I have my wife with me. And I could tell he was definitely trying to make us feel comfortable and not scared. Which was nice.
Maybe we didn't fully realize, like, how gnarly the situation we were in is, why he was saying that.
Exactly. We've never been there before.
He just kept saying, you're safe, and we're safe. And we're like, okay, like.
Yeah. So we get to his property, and there's a house there. It's good. He even offers, like, let us plug in electricity, which was, like, super nice of him.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, we're good. We're just going to hang out here. Meanwhile, TJ's, like, freaking out still. Like,
hardcore.
Freaking out hardcore. I may have a higher aptitude for sketchy things than the average person, so I'm freaking out less. Not that that's a good thing, but I'm kind of like, whatever, we're here for the night. Like, way to go, TJ. Drove us 6 hours north. But TJ has not taken the fact that we're going to stay there as, like, fact, and he's still trying to figure out a way to leave. So we're, like, talking to them.
I was not going to stay there. They're like, I didn't care how nice he was. You know, from the bottom of my heart, he was totally genuine and just trying to protect us, but I have never...
So you've never been more scared in
your life? I've never been more scared in my entire life. Like, at that, like, truly, I was...
And we were, like, screaming at each other because, like, tensions were high. Like, it was just a lot of emotions.
I already felt horrible enough that I drove us 2.5, 3 hours the wrong...
No, it was, like, 4.5 hours.
4.5 hours the wrong direction. So, like, I was already on edge.
Yeah.
And then the whole gas thing happened.
And so then
And now this guy is telling me, like, hey, you might possibly like die if you sleep on the side of the highway here, so come to my house. So like, I am
frazzled.
Yes.
So then we get to his house, and we're talking with his wife and his niece and his son, and they're like in the trailer, and we're all kind of chatting. And unfortunately, this guy keeps telling TJ worse and worse stories about the area
and the land
and like the shootout.
That his dad used to live on the land and was an old sheriff, and they had like massive shootouts and
people walk around at nighttime and try to steal and just basically reiterating how horribly dangerous the area was. But I think he was trying to explain why his property was safe.
Everything I didn't want to hear.
But all he's telling us is how dangerous of an area we're in, essentially, overall. So that's just really freaking scary when you're already completely frazzled. So he's telling TJ more and more of these stories where I'm inside.
You were talking with the rest of the family inside the trailer.
And so fast forward, like, an hour, we all kind of chat. Like, they all just seem like nice humans, but we're just not content with the overall vibe and the situation of, like, just what we've gotten ourselves into. So we come back into the trailer, feed Camo some dinner. It's literally, like, 10:30 at this point.
Yeah.
And maybe even 11. And
I was just shaking. I was just uncomfortably shaking, and I was like, there's no hope I'm going to get any sleep tonight. Like, I am just, like, so on edge. So Natalie told me, she's like...
And I literally thought we could die, so I was, like, sending pinpoint, just, like, with the whole situation, this being where we were for what he was telling us. I was sending, like, pinpoint locations to my sister, and I had her on the phone, and I was giving her our address, and, like, whatever I could. I was like, something really bad could happen, and I just want you to know, like, where we were and what we were doing last. So
God, I keep getting chills. Like, it was so gnarly. Like, it was so real.
So...
You told me...
I told you that if you could find one gas station that answered the phone, because the other ones earlier said they were open and we got there and they weren't.
Right.
I said, I will leave here and drive, even if we push it, and, trucks normally have more gas in there that they say, but the trailer thing really adds a whole element. Like, without the trailer, we get 22 miles a gallon.
Yeah.
And with the trailer, it's like 12. You're going uphill, it's like 6, 8.
Yeah.
So it really... can change a lot. But I told him, I was like, if you can find one gas station that answers the phone that tells us they're open 24 hours or, until a late hour of the night that we could reasonably get there, we can go. So we called collectively like 10 gas stations. And
one of them answered.
The next closest one answered, because there was like one that was like 40 some miles away and the next one was like 60. So we only had like 42 miles left in the tank, right? I think around there.
Yeah.
So we call.
Yeah, it was like we had 42 miles till empty in the truck, and the gas station was 40 miles away.
Yeah. So they answer the phone. They're like, "Yep, we're open 24 hours." So we go outside and like real quickly like thank him for letting us come there and for helping us out, and then we like really quick like just pack up our stuff and start driving.
He was like, "I really just pray for you guys that you make it to where you're going, because if not, like you're in trouble."
Yeah. So, yeah, he was nice. He even offered to, like, drive us out to the main road to make sure we got out to the road safely. But, I know, his worrying was worrying me more, too, because he just was not thrilled with us being anywhere else besides his property if we were going to be broken down somewhere. So I knew, like, we had to get to this gas station. So we leave, we start driving off the road, up the road somewhere, and TJ's, like... theory the whole time was that the side of the highway would be just fine and safe, and of course as we're driving within 5 miles we see some people walking along the highway in the middle of nowhere, and I was like, this is a sign.
And there was that. So during this, when we were back at the camp and the gentleman was telling me all of these stories, he was telling me that there was people who walk the side of the highway specifically looking for people who are camping.
Yeah. Or broken down.
And we, as she said, we saw 2 of them.
Yeah, just in the middle of nowhere. And I was like, this is a sign. I was like, this is really, really scary. Like, if we get broken down somewhere, like, this is going to be our destiny tonight. And I, who do you call? Like, it just was terrifying. So we are driving, and it keeps being uphill.
The whole drive
and more
there.
Uphill, and we keep coming to a hill, and we're like, okay, it's gonna be downhill from here. It's gonna be downhill. Nope. Once again, it goes flat uphill. And then uphill again. Like 40 some miles, probably 30 of it was uphill, and we're tracking it. We have like a miles per gallon like tracker to tell you like when you're optimizing your fuel, and we were like watching it. And TJ was driving the truck at this point. I handed it back over to him. I'm like, your turn.
You got us into this. You get us out of it.
I'm out of this. And we were watching it, and he was driving and trying to like drive like right at the like maximum efficiency, and I was like watching the miles into the gas station and then hoping it was the right gas station. We even called them again on the phone to make sure like that was the right one, because we were scared to even pull off at the wrong gas station and then have to get back on and lose like our
all
RPM.
that momentum.
Yeah. So it was that close. We pulled in to the gas station
with 1 mile till empty.
1 mile till empty at like 11:45 at night, maybe midnight.
Yeah.
I have a headache just thinking about it. It was a very, very stressful, long night. The relief of pulling into that gas station, we like saw other cars in there, so we knew it was open. We knew the pumps were gonna work, and just pulling into there and knowing that we had made it and dodged potentially such a very big bullet in a bad situation was very relieving, but also just like extremely just mentally exhausting. And
it was without a doubt the gnarliest situation I have ever been in my whole life.
Yeah, it was it wasn't good. We looked up some info about the area later, because the guy had really kind of scared us.
Yeah.
About like where we were, and we just want to know more about it. And what did you see?
Yeah, like crime was like 2 or 3, maybe even 4 times the amount of the national average in that one specific area we were in, and like gang prevalence was like through the roof, and just like,
yeah,
it was we were just in a horrible
if we had
spot.
to pick a spot in the whole entire area to be in, we picked like one of the worst ones, maybe the worst.
Yeah.
So luckily, about 60 to 80 miles south of the area that we were almost stuck in was Highway 40, the one we were supposed to be on. So we got our fuel, we continued driving. At this point it's like, midnight, 12:30, and we were just drained. We were supposed to be camping along the road somewhere else, and then we obviously didn't go that way, so we passed it. So we decided to go and find a hotel just to like regroup, we get a good night of sleep after all those freezing nights we had. We were just looking for like a calm, peaceful, very simple road trip, and and night of sleep too. And so we just decided to cut our losses with that. Like, we're just gonna go get a hotel room, take a shower, sleep in some beds. I mean, I guess we have a bed here, but just have a nice, safe place to sleep after our very tumultuous situation. So what we have learned from this whole situation is, you can't just rely on technology.
2 things. Always triple check where you're going, and as she said, don't rely on technology.
Like, you should know like what towns you're going through, what road you should be on, what to expect. Like, I noticed some names of towns that I didn't think I would see, but I was like, I don't know, I've never driven on this road before. Maybe that's the right one. And like, my gut, I knew we weren't going the right way. Another thing that I always do when I'm the passenger that never has gotten us off route is is whenever we stop to go to the bathroom or get gas and I hit start, I like zoom out on the map and make sure that we're still going to the correct endpoint on the same route that I know we should be on, because I think that may have been one of our issues, like when we like stopped and got gas somewhere, went to the bathroom, like maybe something got bumped. So that's something that I always do.
Yeah. And the other thing is, whenever you're traveling with your rig, whether it be an RV or a travel trailer or a van, and you have a half a tank of gas,
you see a gas station,
take it.
Go there. Because we saw one like right under a half, and I was like, we'll be by populated areas, it's fine. And we passed that one gas station. If we would not have passed that one gas station, if we would have just gotten gas at that gas station,
it wouldn't have happened.
Nothing would have happened. We would have gone, we would have realized we were going the wrong direction, we would have turned around, we would have drove down to Highway 40, got gas down there, and then continued on. But because we didn't take all the proper preemptive steps to ensure that we had a smooth passage, it bit us in the ass.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we slept well last night. It was a very stressful evening, a lot of high tensions and energy and emotions, and we are just very happy and thankful that we ran into a kind-hearted soul who wanted to help us out and took pity in our situation. And TJ looked very disheveled and upset, and I think he was trying to help him out. Thankfully, it all ended well, but there was definitely numerous moments during that whole 2 hour, 3 hour situation from when I realized we were not on the right route to us actually getting gas, maybe even 4 hours, that it was scary. When we were in the car, TJ was like trying to talk, and all I kept saying was, we'll talk when we get to the gas station. That was our night last night. We have some more driving to go do. We just got back from the hotel and into the trailer, and we have a few hours to go until we get to Sedona today. Thankfully, that should be a beautiful stop. We have an RV park there because we needed to go get our batteries charged after we depleted them boondocking.
It's a double strike for me. I depleted the batteries and I drove us into the wrong area.
Yeah. So we're going to an RV park for a few days, which would be very, very lovely to have some nice amenities after some very rough days and to just enjoy a beautiful, peaceful area.
Yeah, so Natalie's going to continue driving. I'm going to hand it back over to her.
Yeah.
And she'll attempt her first time backing in.
Yeah.
To the RV park.
TJ is going to look at the directions
3 times.
numerous times. We'll see who drives in the future.
And we'll
that was a little
make sure
traumatizing.
I continue to go south.
I don't know if I even trust you. I know the routes we're supposed to be on today, though, so I'm just going to be watching. But in the future, we'll see who does the driving because you've lost some serious points on this one.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I mean, I'm human. I make mistakes, but that was really bad.
That was a pretty bad one. But
Almost cost us.
could have cost us our lives.
Could have cost us our lives.
It
Could
could've.
have cost us our home.
Could have cost us our truck. Could have cost us all of our belongings.
Everything.
Like, you just
So,
don't know.
Literally just a careless, lazy mistake could have been avoided just if I checked the map.
So it's important to remember the seriousness of travel and that when you are traveling, you are leaving the world that you are used to and you are accustomed to, and you are potentially entering somebody else's world. And you need to be very aware of that if you want to travel safely and effectively, and keep in mind that what is your normal is not somebody else's normal. And always be prepared for the unexpected, and that will hopefully serve you well and us well. And just always try to make the best of a bad situation. Anyways, time to get on the road. We are thankful everything's okay. We're trying to let go of that, leave it in the past. It happened, but nothing happened. We're learning from it, and it's time to go explore.
It's time to go to beautiful Sedona.
Okay, here we go.